Good morning, good morning. Hope all is well out there. Top of the morning, Sunday morning. Yep, daylight savings. So guess what? We sprung ahead and we all just lost an hour of sleep, you guys. But hey, no problem. My name is Thomas Taylor III. Just want to talk to you a little bit this morning, actually about that same very topic, which is the seasons. So if you go outside right now, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. You see the trees are actually budding, right? Those of us that deal with and suffer with allergies, you really don't even have to look outside to know what time of the year it is because your allergies will tell you exactly what time of the year it actually is. So based upon the four seasons in life, right? You have indicative of the four seasons. You have spring, you have summer, you have fall, and then you have winter, okay? So based upon those seasons, what I want to talk to you about is sowing, okay? I have a good friend of mine, Mr. Eric Keese. He grew up on a farm in South Carolina, and he's always talking about, him and I was always talking about sowing and reaping, right? It's gardening, because all his life, he pretty much had to do that on the farm. So I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, what have you sown into? Ooh, just think about that for a minute. Most people actually look for the actual harvest. What do I mean by that? Sometimes you see different people around you doing well and reaping a harvest. You might say, wow, okay, that person is doing real well. Man, I can't wait for mine. Or we expect a harvest, you guys, without actually sowing. Right? In a book I read, it talks about sowing and reaping, okay? So ask yourself again, what have you sown into in order to reap a harvest? So as you know, I always use myself as an example. I want to talk about growing up without a father. So in 1985, which is the first time I met my father in 1985, well, you guys, that was actually a seed that was sown. Unbeknownst to myself, but it was a seed. Because 20 years later, I reconnected with my father, right? And actually started to reap a harvest from that seed that was sown 20 years ago, right? Reconnected with him 20 years later. Introduced him to my family, went out to Orangeburg, South Carolina, met grandfathers, uncles and aunts for the first time. Then out of that seed that was sown in 1985, ultimately created a nonprofit organization called Growing Up Without a Father to help those individuals who actually grew up without a father or know somebody who actually grew up without a father. So again, I ask you, what have you sown into so then sometime in the future, you can reap a harvest? So fast forward to today. As you guys, or some of you who's been following me, I started doing Facebook Lives in February, beginning of February, right? Just sowing and sowing into people, giving value about, various different topics to help individuals who may be dealing with something but haven't articulated it, but actually can kind of see how somebody else views things or a different philosophy, right? But all of that, you guys, is sowing. So later on down the line, and nobody knows what it looks like because I'm a vision coach, I'm a life coach. Later on down the line, I may be in a position to actually coach people. Why? Because my coach challenged me to go live, to help individuals, just to inspire people. Well, you guys, that is sowing. So again, just pause for a moment and just think about it. What have you sown into where you feel you want to reap a harvest later? Because sometimes, you guys, that part of the process, we kind of negate, right? We may know where we want to be, what we want to do, but not actually understand how do you sow into that? Because you might not even know exactly what it looks like. You may just kind of have an idea of where you want to be, right? So it may take a little bit of research to actually figure out, okay, wait a minute, how can I sow into this so later on I can benefit from that, versus just looking at things based upon where you are in life and just wanting to reap a harvest, right? So again, when I go back to the seasons, right? Right now we kind of going into spring, daylight savings, right? Then you have summer, right? Then you have fall, then you have winter. Just a natural progression, right? So, and I spoke about this before. So obtain a goal, right? Say, okay, I want to do something. I want to be somewhere. That's where you want to be in the future. Okay, so now backtrack and ask yourself, okay, what do I need to sow currently right now so later on I actually can reap a harvest? Hopefully you guys, you kind of know what that is, or at least have an idea what that is, because the 4 seasons, they're going to come, right? Sowing needs to happen in order for you to reap. Just think about this. Just think about if you went to the soil and you said, soil, where's my harvest? And you know what the soil's going to say to you? What did you sow, Thomas? You want to reap something from me? What did you give? What did you sow for me to help you reap, right? Sometimes we really don't think about that. So just think about it from an aspect of giving, value, sowing, right? Now just think about this. If you stay there, if you stay in that lane of sowing and giving, right, constantly, by the time you look up, you have so much to reap. You have actually the opportunity to help more people, you guys, right? Think about corn, right? They say if you plant some corn, you don't just grow one corn, no, right? You grow a whole crop of corn to help more people. So today, you guys, in terms of the 4 seasons, sowing and reaping, I challenge you just to take a little bit more time, dig a little bit deeper, and figure out, okay, how much can I sow? How much can I give? Because I promise you guys, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, the universe will respond, because it's a natural progression, right? It's just natural. It doesn't go out of turn, right? It doesn't miss something. Nope. Ladies and gentlemen, focus on sowing. Focus on giving. Focus on helping, right? I said it before in The Purpose-Driven Life, that book by Rick Warren, page 17. The first thing in that book says, it's not about you, right? So just think about it. If I can give more, if I can sow more, I can reap more to help more people. That's just the natural progression, you guys. So again, just think back. Think back this time last year, and it was on the news the other day. It's a year, 365 days since the pandemic, right? And if you just use that as a barometer, just ask yourself, what have I sown in the past 365 days in order to be able to reap some of that now? If your answer is nothing, you guys, then you know exactly where you need to focus. Why? Because 365 days from now, like I said, March 2022, you don't want to find yourself in the same place you were in March of 2021. Well, how can you not do that? By sowing, you guys, by giving, right? Value, helping more people, right? Figuring out kind of where you want to be. So when it comes time to actually reap, not only will you reap a harvest for yourself, but you can reap a harvest for those around you, you guys. Like how beautiful is that, right? To help more people, because for the most part, it's in all of us, right? Like we have this thing that's built inside of us that we want to help, right? But sometimes we get in a position and we get in a place where helping, we actually kind of get burnt, if you will. You guys know what I'm talking about. And then once you get burnt, you retreat, right? You're like, oh, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And we miss, you guys, like we miss the true essence of sowing and reaping because we always focus on the reaping part of it. But my challenge, you guys, today is let's focus on the sowing. Why? Because that's where the true treasure lies, you guys. Well, hey, I'm not going to keep you. My name is Thomas Taylor III. You can follow me on Instagram, Thomas Taylor III, at Taylor Your Dreams, as well as YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, Thomas Taylor III, that's Taylor Your Dreams, as well as my email, tyd@tayloryourdreams.com, you guys. I'm not going to keep you. Again, it's daylight saving time. We gave an hour back. Well, let's use that hour to sow, you guys, to help more people. Until then, make it a great day.